Right, let's go. We made it out.
We're free.
Negative. So we got our results, and we didn't do a video yesterday because we were too busy just going out and catching up on some damn supplies. But negative. Both my gran, myself, and Edwina. Edwina did test positive for rhinovirus.
Yes. I always think rhinovirus, and then I'm like, no, that's not quite right.
So just the common cold. Gran tested positive for parainfluenza. I didn't test positive for anything, but apparently they're going to rerun that and see how that goes. So
We are special.
I am a little bit special, aren't I? Wait a sec, shoot. So yeah, they're going to rerun the test on that and see how that goes. That'll happen maybe next week, but I think they've probably got bigger fish to fry than that.
I had said, I think at this point we're probably on the low levels of priority.
Yeah, I think we are.
Because things around the world have really escalated over the last few days. It's we were kind of sitting inside wondering if things would be different by the time we were able to leave.
Yeah.
There's certainly some changes that we've been seeing.
Yeah, big changes. Certainly in the time that we were out there, supermarkets don't look the same as when we went in. So we've come out and people are speaking casually about whether they've been able to find some toilet paper, of course, but even long life milk.
Pasta.
Pasta. Could
Rice.
buy pasta. There were some expensive arborio rices left.
I mean, I'm talking your 20 kilo bags of jasmine. That is hard to get now.
Got it. Thankfully, we'd already stockpiled a couple of things, but we really did have a lot to catch up on.
Not just in that, in going out and seeing what the world has been like and talking to all of the people that we haven't been able to talk to.
Yep.
And really getting a feel for what's going on out there, because there's a real sense that we're coming into a time that's pretty unprecedented. I don't know if you guys have been watching the stock markets, but...
Yeah, the stock market's been horrifying over what we're coming up into 10 days of carnage now.
And even the cryptocurrency market is certainly bleeding its fair amount right now. It's...
in the mainstream stock exchanges, climbing close to 20%. And that's a proper correction now, down on its peaks. Now, interestingly enough, that only takes us back to mid-2019 levels, which is just how good 2019 was. Many indexes were up 30% on the year in 1 year alone. So there certainly was a lot of blood to let when we do pull it out, but wow. I don't think too many people were expecting a 20% drop in 10 days. And today, the 11th, is just more of the same. So another 1.5%. FTSE's opened a little bit lower. It's there's real concern and panic, and we haven't even come to the medical. This is just in the macroeconomic levels.
And it's definitely a contrast, because our Prime Minister was on live stream just 45 minutes ago, an hour ago, talking about how we shouldn't change how we live our lives. So there's definitely conflicting forces when it comes to people's belief about where this is going.
If we don't, who does? If we don't change what we're doing, we're going to get more of the same result. That's just part of it. So that's what we're facing, and that's what Italy's facing now. For example, just today, Italy had 168, or yesterday their time, had 168 deaths. That's worse than China's worst day. So that just says we're heading for more of the same.
That said, China fibbed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. But that also means that they're heading for just on numbers alone, China-like outcome. And Italy's not cracking down on this the way China is. To say that we've locked down, but you can still go to work. What kind of lockdown? There's really a lock. There's kind of a swinging gate that kind of just drifts in the wind.
We're lucky this isn't a Spanish flu, because if it was, 1918 was a bad year.
So will 2020? 2020 is going to be a bad year. Even if not another person dies of this today, that doesn't get everything back to what we called normal in 2019. The world's changed, and now everyone's struggling to keep up.
I know I am.
Yeah. Speaking of people, for that matter, I think that's what a lot of people are struggling to adapt to this change. They're struggling to accept this change, because a lot of the people I speak to are just like, oh, it's fear-mongering, it's not that big a deal, it's just a flu. And that change of mind is really hard for people. That change of perspective, that change of the way things are. It's
And the realization that the end of the line of these illnesses, and certainly something that we faced, is the finality of death.
Yeah.
That there is a finalness that you cannot escape when someone passes away, and it's sudden and you're surprised, and you're clearing out the room and you realize that they're really gone. You've got to think in ways that protect yourself, and that doesn't mean be crazy, be paranoid, do stupid things, but it does mean that living the same way and going out and shaking hands all day protects yourself and the people that you love by not being foolish. And I think that that's important to consider, that you might be fine, but maybe you have someone who's over 60 in your family, maybe you have children under 10. Ultimately you want to be considering how to best take care of them, and it does matter and it is important. And just going, oh, it's totally fine, don't worry about it, means that you're not protecting the people that you love, not even just you, because it's not like this is a situation where you're going, well, the only person who can be stabbed in the gut with a sword is me. This is a situation where you just have to kiss someone.
A kiss of death, which really what it becomes for older people. It can become a kiss of death, where it doesn't matter if it's hospitalized or not. We're talking about who rolls a six-sided die to see if they will end their life in the next 2 weeks, even with forced ventilation. That's what this can mean for people over 70. Take a single die and roll it, and for people over 60, it's still take a two die and roll that and get the wrong number, and that's it.
And even then, you're young, you're healthy, you're happy, but maybe you have asthma. Pneumonia is really unpleasant, even if you are healthy, and that's what it looks like in people our age. It just looks like you have a case of pneumonia.
Yeah. And that's what so many of people seem to be dying of, because they're missing, is pneumonia, because you can't have cases if you don't test. So it's about keeping people safer, because government, medical institutions can't protect you from this. There is no magical clown, and at the end of it, when you're sick, you only got yourself there who's going to catch you, and people you care about, and that's what I think a lot of people are having trouble understanding, is that it's up to them and the people that love them. That's your group when it comes to ensuring that your medical health and well-being is going to get there. I guess we've been disconnected from that for a while. So yeah, anyway, so change, and that's as much as we talked about the medical and the macroeconomic stuff. It's about the people that we've seen here in Ryde, how they're acting a little bit different. So I yesterday went on a bit of a door knock campaign to try and meet some people of my community. I've done this before when I ran for election, and that was fun. This time I'm not selling anything, and I'm not asking for a vote. This time I'm just offering them my phone number. And the response wasn't what I hoped it would be. I'd knock on people's door and just say, hi, I'm Chris, I'm your neighbour, live down the street. We live in challenging times, and we mightn't always know what things are going to be exactly like tomorrow. Would you like to take my phone number? At least then you've got a local contact to see how we go. I'm naive. I thought I'd get lots of fist bumps and hugs. Like when I went up to Eastwood, I thought it'd all just be a loving. My bad. I didn't expect people to refuse my phone number. I didn't expect people to answer the door sniffling and sick and say, yeah, I might have it. And I didn't expect someone who's sniffling and sick, who speaks my language, who I get along with, to then say, good luck with meeting your community, and then wave and wish me good day and push me off.
Seeking a friend at the end of the world.
No, he wasn't. He thinks he's going to be fine, and he will. He was in his 30s. he probably will be fine. But
I think it still matters to be able to knock on your neighbour's door. My grandparents certainly had those values. My nana and the lady who lived right next to each other, they had a door knocking system. They checked on each other every morning because they were becoming older.
and that reinforces just what another neighbour of mine has told me, which is, I'm too late. I am knocking on doors for people who used to live there 3 or 4 generations ago, and they're not there, they're dead. The kind of person who would accept that kind of community outreach, they don't live here anymore. They don't live behind those doors. Someone new has moved in there. Social, demographic, cultural, ethnic, every other, economic, that's a big one, economic change has happened with my neighbours here. And I'm stuck in the past. Probably read too many history books, think of too many of my older family members, and I'm just stuck in the past because who I thought would be behind that door, I've gone looking for people who are long dead now. So, what you're saying about your grandparents, absolutely, that's who I was looking for. I was looking for your grandparents, and they're not. Your grandmother isn't there anymore.
So I would say go and knock on the door of your neighbours before we're all stuck inside.
Yeah.
Consider the people that you can rely on, someone you can knock and say, I'm out of milk. Can you help me out?
Because I did find one. I did find one person, and we're now well networked, which is good. But not a great hit rate.
You need a friend. Make sure we still have friends. And I say that for everyone. Reach out to the people near you. We are on our screens all the time. 8, 9, 10 hours in a day. How often do you talk to the people who are around you? Why don't you give it a try?
Well, that's part of it, is that we do live in a society and we are reliant on each other. And it didn't stop when we got our phones.
The thing is, we're not reliant on each other until there's trouble. And if you're not talking to anyone and you're on your phone instead, are you out there making a friend?
There hasn't been trouble, so what's the problem? Need to go somewhere?
I don't know, Italy called, they're missing, I don't know, their whole economy.
Yeah. Well, you can still go to work though, so it's not really a lockdown if you can go to work, is it?
I thought they closed that down, or is everyone just nipping out for pasta?
Yeah.
Because that could be a bit problematic.
Yeah, I'm just going for a quick pint at the pub. Maybe a dance at the show. No, it's, yeah. But yeah, we're seeing some of the same cultural changes happening here. And that's the how to work with people who've changed so much from what we expected. Because the last time we faced a significant challenge as a community was probably recession we had to have, which I was barely a child, and that was 91.
2009 barely touched us compared to the rest of the world. We had it easy.
No, didn't need each other. GF what was the response there?
Oh yeah, $1,000 on your tax return. Woo.
Yeah, great. Maybe we'll get another one of those. But yeah, we went out yesterday, got some supplies, which was good. A little bit of milk and a couple of other things as well. So
to be fair, we were completely out of milk. Do you realise that if you're stuck inside for 4 days, you literally have no milk for tea, which is actually tragic in my personal opinion. You need tea.
Because we really had burnt down the stock over the previous 6 days, and it was surprising. It was surprising just how much.
Well, it made me realise how much time I actually spend in my weekdays making sure that we are still stocked and that the fridge is still full, and that, you know, that happens on a regular pattern, and you take that pattern away and you're like, oops.
Yeah, because it was 5 days we were in.
It does make you realise how efficient China is with the whole grocery delivery system thing that they've got going on.
Yep.
That is impressive levels of efficiency.
Yeah. So yeah, we're out. Getting back home. Spend a day outside, and we're trying to spend as much time outside. I mean, it just seems to be pulling us out there. But yeah, spirits.
Sunshine matters. Vitamin D does too.
Yep. Yeah.
But yeah, no, go knock on a door, find a friend.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than facing this and
let us know how you go. Can you find a friend, or are all of your friends people that you're connected with through here?
Yeah,
tell us what your experience is. We'd love to hear about it in the comments.
Are they going to show up?
Well, I don't know. If you can't get them to answer the door at this point, you're in trouble anyway because it's early yet.
Yeah, great point.
After all, we're not in an Italy situation where it's like, everybody stay inside. And I've got to admit, I do like being at home, but I'm not looking forward to it. I like the coffee shop.
I'm good. So you guys, hope by sharing our experience helps you cope and learn from yours. Share it back. I think that's why we're doing this, because we're looking for how we're going to navigate the next little challenging while. And I think part of that is having the dialogue that we're having. If you're here, you're probably interested in trying to get through the next little while, like we all are. Whether that's because your business is a little bit slow, or you're just trying to understand. You're among like-minded people, just being aware that this isn't just the flu, that this isn't just something small, but you're also not panicking either. You're just trying to understand what's going on, and that's what our experience post-quarantine is about. We're venturing back out into that world and being like, what's changed in 5 days? Yeah. All right. See you guys.